So yeah, another book. I love it. I'm saying this like it's supposed to mean something, but yeah. Also the book disappeared, but anyway. This book, the one good thing, also I don't know why, probably because something to do with probably how I handled it. I've got a bit of a thing, but I think that's probably nothing to worry about. No damage to be on the page, so it's like mostly fine. Anyway, this book is interesting because this book is only, and this is important, this is like basic information of like number of pages and all that stuff, right? 190 pages, yet has 45 chapters. And the reason why I like this is because the chapters are pretty short. For instance, chapter 1, if you just look at the pages, I'm not going to say what's in it, just the length, is page 1 to page 5. 5 pages. With text not being that big, and some having less because it has descriptions of the puzzles in the game. And obviously I'm doing this, you would read it backwards, but puzzles of this game, of this book specifically. And the idea is there's this weather god who controls the weather and was put on Earth. And if someone doesn't entertain him by completing puzzles, they don't go through. And at first, the one thing which I thought was interesting is that I thought this was going to be, and I don't mean this in the bad way, just more how prominent it was going to be, that this was going to be a sort of Harry Potter. You can sort of tell why I thought that, if you know what I mean. Main character, brown hair, side character, this side, a little bit of like more colourful hair, and theme. That's not me saying that is in books, that's just me drawing comparison from this to Harry Potter. Are there bits of entertainment books? I don't know. I don't read too much, I can't answer that, besides comic books, which I know comic book characters exist. Are there female characters that can be main characters? Yes. But this sort of gives me an echo of the books of Harry Potter. But the one thing I do find interesting is at a certain point in this book, they sometimes bring up the brother. And when they're doing and learning a bit about the challenges, they sort of lie to him. So that through most of his puzzles, you do actually get these main 3 people. And I kind of suspected this because this isn't anything that I can play. The way they do it makes sense and still makes it a good thing. But seeing a trope, also, I would like to point out, the puzzles in this are actually written as puzzles rather than someone sees this. It's like, here's the setup for this situation. You can just pause here, think about the puzzle, think about how you would do it, and then carry on reading. Which is good for a book about, puzzles. I don't think I need to explain why. But I also think that at some point, Philai, and just before they enter the challenge, he finds out the truth. He doesn't believe them, and then he leaves. Because the teacher is sort of like, gets injured. And then all of them come together and then do the puzzle. But at a certain point, he tricks them and puts them in a hole. But you know who comes back? So this character's brother kind of bullies them a bit. And is more like athletic, rather than these 3 being a version of intelligence, he's more stereotypically. Which I would like to point out, sports and this does have some intelligence. You always have different versions of intelligence. I feel like there's at least like sort of 4. There's sort of people smart, there's sort of environment smart, and why am I saying they're different? I mean like wilderness, outside environment, the trees, the plants. There's academia smart, which is based on knowledge of facts and figures, and then sort of like business and trickery smart. I don't like Harry Potter, and yes, I am relating this Harry Potter, again, 3 people. But it does have some There's some problems with it, in my opinion, still. Some things I do agree, where you have someone who's book smart, someone who's emotional smart, so basically Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff, someone who's sort of like leadership smart, which you might think I would say is Slytherin, but I'm gonna say it's Gryffindor for a very logical reason. Then you have the cunning. And why would I say that that's different to people? Is I see them as sort of like learning and being patient, and obviously this analogy doesn't fit. So basically, Hufflepuff, environment, basically learning, and again, this analogy doesn't work, but you get my point. There's different types of intelligence. I've been always the people where if you put Hufflepuff for Hogwarts houses into different things, what would I say? Hufflepuff's emotional, learns about the needs. Ravenclaw, intelligent, could basically tell you any facts in the world. Gryffindor, brave and sort of like courageous and maybe able to learn a bit more about land by doing more, by being brave and tricky. Slytherin, I wouldn't always say tricks you, but basically learns your intelligence. That's what I like about this book. Going back to this book. Sorry for giving a Harry Potter lesson, even though like I don't actively read it. I do have the book, the DVDs, but that's Blu-ray. I'm never giving a Blu-ray that has bonus features on it. I don't know why, and I'm not giving those up. Blu-ray feature. Having bonus features is always a plus, and I only bought it and I ain't getting rid of it. So, stupid, I don't know. That's not the point. But the brother, being able to go to and find them and then go out the other side and using his intelligence of the grounds and learning about physically being active, gets them out and gets them to find them. And I find that interesting. And it's like, oh, you don't need to be like an intellect. You don't need to be a genius to figure out this, but you do need to trust. And I like that. I also like the fact that legitimately they lied to them and it didn't work, which I think is a good idea because it doesn't go to the main three, which yes, I know there's 4 people, but sort of like the main three that you sort of see throughout the book. And yes, you see Brother through like I think quite a bit of it, but the main challenge is I don't want to be free, and they lied to him, and it didn't work. Lying won't help you through this. I also like the fact that he tricked this Gaunt. I think it's sort of implied that because this is the Puzzle Mystery Adventures book 1. I don't know if there's going to be a continuation of it. They sort of implied that there is, but I don't know. I will read the rest of it. Not right now. Also, there is a website. Visit PJ's and try some cool puzzles at pjnichole.com. Apparently there's some puzzles on there. Go and check that out. So yeah, besides weirdly going on a tangent about Harry Potter, again, I'm not complaining. Having these 3 as iconology is not a bad thing. This book is absolutely amazing. And more importantly, which also might take a bit of time but not too much as the other one, this book is designed, if I'm correct, as being dyslexia friendly. If you have dyslexia, this book is not that hard to read. Like, I found this, like, easy. And, like, there's a lot of other books, including Tales of the Pizza Place, which I'm currently reading, which is hard. This isn't that blocky. So, yeah. This is going to be the last one for a bit, because we kind of stopped at this point, because we wanted to wait until we can see both, which is, I think, a Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2. So this is going to be, when we review it tomorrow, the last for a bit. I should really make short ones of these. My reviews are 10 minutes long. But yeah, that is next, if you want to watch it. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video about this book. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, good night. Yeah, I'm gonna wait another 5 seconds.